And hello and welcome everybody to a very special edition of the War of Inheritance.
From the present.
Yes, this is particularly special because it is Josh's birthday today!
As you can tell, his hairstyle has leveled up.
It has. Thank you.
There is, in fact, an halogen herald on your camera.
Hey, what now?
Oh, there's a little spider.
Oh, little spider friend.
Tiny spider brother.
He was here to say happy birthday,
Yes.
and now we have angered the spider gods, and Lolf
Oh, sorry,
will kill you all.
is this your stripper?
No. Da da da. Down he goes.
It's the dance of the seven whips.
Whoa, 8 legs is pretty impressive.
Pretty
wear a hat, a little birthday hat, says Luke. To which the answer is no. I have no little birthday hat.
That is not a problem.
Yeah, the hair is not hat conducive.
Yeah.
Well, this is in fact a birthday wig that I have
Birthday
on right now.
Birthday hair.
If you're going to do it,
Barney's birthday suit.
get it over with. If you're going to do it,
You are wearing your birthday suit.
sure.
Yes.
Under this, yeah, right. Are we starting,
Stop
or is
distracting me.
there
Stop distracting me,
festivity
Zoe.
before we go, or are we going?
Oh, let's do it. Okay, ready? Here we go. 1, 2,
Well, we
3.
doing this.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Josh. Happy birthday to you. Hooray!
Thank you very much. I appreciate a little jazz ad.
As a personal request, when my birthday comes around, can you not do that? As I hate that song.
Noted.
Absolutely.
Fair enough. We will do a different song. I will compose something for you. For now, we just lost 2 viewers. Excellent and well worth doing. So, greetings and welcome to the latest instalment of the War of Inheritance. When last we left our heroes, Jacob, what was the most important thing that happened?
Someone shot my dragon.
Someone shot your dragon. David, what was the most important thing that happened last session?
Save a whole bunch of people.
You did get to save a whole bunch of people, at least 20. Zoe, what was the most important thing that happened last session?
Tyndall's gone.
Tyndall gone.
Tyndall dead.
What was
No.
the most important? Maybe. What was the most important thing that happened last session?
We found a volcano shrine in the middle of the river and accidentally woke up a basilisk.
Close.
Salamander.
A salamander.
That's the one.
Same
We'd
thing.
be in a lot more trouble if it was a basilisk.
I don't know. Well, just wait for room 2.
5 basilisks.
Josh adds
Magic
a basilisk.
2 and salamander.
Where did we leave last session? You can
I
see, in
had
fact, on the
just
map.
stumbled my way through a disadvantaged stealth check and made a very loud splashing noise in the pool of water behind me, waking up everything in the room opposite.
That is correct. The players are halfway through a dungeon. They are potentially going to complete the dungeon today. I will very quickly go through what the map looks like, and then we will crack on exactly here where we are. So you can see this area right here is a pool of water with a little walkway around the outside. Jorg is standing here, and there is a little altar in this area where a set of stairs has just appeared. And in this room, there is a salamander and 3 fire drakes. I'm sure everything will be fine. Hello, Sam, and welcome to the stream.
Hey, sweetheart.
Can we start this session in the best tradition of D&D by rolling initiative, please? Thank you very much.
16.
Bonus points for anyone who's pre-rolled. Ooh la la.
17 also.
All right, well, you guys can choose which you go. So 17, that's good. This is the top of the initiative. That's right.
Yeah, there we go.
Check it
This
out.
guy up here.
Funk's all brother.
9, good job. 9.
Is anybody surprised that you're buffering?
No. Right.
Oh,
Oh, Pog doesn't get an
No,
initiative
Pog.
because Pog
I'm
is
going to
being
show this
defeated.
to you,
If we
Zoe.
can have some F's in chat to show respect for
Yeah.
Pog.
It is dark and it is steamy, and you can. There is the flickering torchlight that Iris is providing, which is quite hard to maintain in this area. It's fine, you've changed torches, but you're constantly having to prestidigitate some fire, which flares
cold room.
and flickers. It's still steamy. It's still a hard place to keep the fire lit, particularly because heat is emanating from the darkened antechamber in which Jorg has discovered there are a bunch of fiery, snake-like, draconic things. At the moment, mostly what you can see is a little bit of heat glow from them and some blazing eyes. However, they have noticed you, they have awoken, and the first thing that occurs... video game torch. The first thing that occurs is the salamander coils itself up. This creature, you can see, looks like a long serpentine snake with little flames flickering out from between the scales on its body. But not unlike a regular snake, it has the upper torso of a person, with a strange snake-like snout that comes forward and a pair of arms that appear to be clutching a long spear. It slithers, it coils, and it turns its gaze upon you all. Well, it turns its gaze, in fact, upon Jorg, who is the one who put a foot in the water, making a loud splash, and it surges towards you. Jorg, what is your armor class, please?
18, boss.
On an 18, it slashes towards you with its spear, and Jorg deftly steps to one side. Good job. However, it slaps at you with its tail and misses you also. Congratulations, the salamander has pushed its way through to the front of the room and assaulted you twice and failed to strike you. No, there, that's fine. One of its little snake-like children that does not yet have the upper body of a human. These are more amorphous. They're more made of fire and less solid. You can still see that there are edges to them, but they appear like they're flickering and moulding, looking like kind of fast-moving magma, maybe. And the first one of them is going to zoom round and go, would you like to make an attack of opportunity?
Yes, more reflex than anything else, but yes.
You can absolutely make an attack of opportunity as one of them runs past you.
Does a 11 hit it? I imagine it doesn't.
An 11, in fact, does not hit the fire snake as it goes past you.
That is absolutely fine.
However, would you like to take 3 points of fire damage as you swing at the thing and a great gout of flame comes out of it as two of its scales move aside, and the heat really hurts. It sears past you, and the fire snake's going to keep going. It's going to go, and it's going to have a go at Freya. Freya, please, what is your armor class?
15.
15. Would you like to be missed? And missed. Go snakes. They're doing really well. Freya, you're up. There is a fire snake that has slithered across the ground towards you. It is clearly the most bright thing in the room because it is glowing and made of fire, and it has lunged at you and snapped at your ankles twice. What do you do?
I am just going to hit it with my sword.
I hit it with my sword. Hit it with your sword, by all means. And you really hit. That's definitely
nice.
a hit. Okay. It's not immune to sneak attack, so...
It's the only enemy within 5 feet. So
it is.
Oh yes, swashbucklers are...
How much damage do you do to this fire snake? Do you have a whistle repartee as you stab at it?
15 damage.
Okay.
You're looking at the fired up.
And I was too busy doing maths to have a one-liner.
Has to be in an Austrian accent.
Alright, so Freya looks at it and goes, I need to work out exactly how much sneak attack I'm going to do to you. Kapow!
Yes.
And deals it 15 points of damage. Iris, you're up. It did not... Oh, no.
Can I also just step away from it afterwards?
So you have used your action. I'll tell you what you can do the rest of your turn in just a second. But as you swing in at it, your sword, which you found is quite a nice saber, swings through the thing, and it takes a healthy bite out of it. But as it pulls away, you feel like you should have done more damage with your blade. And clearly, whatever this thing is made of, this is not the best implement to be using to try and hack it apart. But it did take a bunch of damage. You have used your action. You now have a bonus action and a move and all kinds of stuff.
Bonus action can dash. Yeah.
You're going to dash.
Bear in mind, if you dash, you'll take an attack of opportunity. Bonus action disadvantage.
Would you also please
I
take
do not
me...
take it.
Please you disengage. Oh no, yeah, if you hit it, swashbucklers don't get attacked if
Fancy footwork.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. So you can use your bonus action for whatever you like, but you do sadly take 3 points of fire damage as the thing flickered around your arm as you hacked in at it.
How much? It was 3 from me.
3 for you as well. It's probably going to be 3 for everybody.
Does his DR?
Nope, it's not.
No,
slashing,
it's not that kind of
Fine.
Sweet. Iris, now you're up.
I'm going to say we should head down those stairs, pointing at the stairs that have appeared.
There are indeed a set of stairs that descend into the dark.
That's how I'm going to start doing that. So I'm going to start walking down here and see what's down here.
No.
Iris, what are you doing?
All right,
It'll
Tiberius.
be easier to fight them.
It
You
is
don't know
now.
what's down there.
It is now
I
very
know
hard.
what's up here.
It is now hard to see because Iris has taken the torch away. Iris, you can see that you can see that there is a set of hewn stairs that are descending a slightly winding but mostly straight passageway down into the darkness. You can take me a perception check, please, as your action, because you're going to see what's down there.
Nat 20.
On a nat 20, you get a lot of information because you have dark vision, a torch, and so you see the steps descend. It is the steps are slick with water, but not. So they look like they'll be slippery if you try to descend them at speed, but they won't be a problem if you're going down regularly. The passageway is about 10 foot by 10 foot. It's quite a broad, wide stairway, so you can go down two at a time if you want to. You can just about make out that there is a faint light at the other end, and you can see what looks like a little rocky ledge or platform. You can hear bubbling and hissing sound, and the gentle movement
Organic bubbling and hissing, or
probably, you're not sure, and the gentle movement of water. And on a natural 20, you're pretty sure you can hear some form of chanting. Very, very faintly. What do your half-elf ears see? That's what Iris does.
Okay.
Neve, you're up.
Okay.
That was your action to investigate and figure out what's going on. You have a bonus action if you'd like to use it.
I'm good.
Cool. But yeah, that is a search action. That's what it does. Gives you a bunch of information about the environment.
I am going to go at the fire snake that was attacking Freya with my slingshot.
With your slingshot, sweet. So Neve hooks a stone in her sling, swings it around, and lets loose. Roll to hit. That's a hit.
That is a hit.
Armor class of 14 for the fire snakes.
Hang on 1 second.
It's like D6, I think, or D4.
D4.
All right.
I do 5 damage.
You do 5 damage. It takes some of that. The stone you see hits it, and as it does, again, a small spurt of flame that, had you struck it in melee, would have done you some damage. So good job there. But it is not taking maximal damage from your attacks. These things seem to be resistant to the kind of damage that you have done to them so far, though you have still very much injured them. It is the turn of another fire snake, who is going to, you see this one coils itself around the long body of the salamander that is leaning over Yorg. It wraps itself around, and it's like a snake around a tree as it clambers over. Thank you. If you can move that one, please, Yorg, so that it is. You see they are avoiding the pool of water.
That seems entirely reasonable considering what they are.
But it slavers over, continues, it stays wrapped around the body of the salamander, and it lunges out at you. And it's going to try and hit you. Stupid armor class of 18. Haha! Cool, well, the party tank is doing a really excellent job of soaking hits.
I'm glad.
You have been missed. But there is a salamander leaning over you, and you can see this thing is muscular now, and sinewy and strong. And a snake that looks like it's made out of a liquid moving fire is lashing out and lunging at you, and you feel its heat of the breath of this snake wafts over your skin as it towards you. York, you're up.
Okay. I'm gonna.
Buffering.
Yeah, it's always a problem with York. Because I have a lot of options, but the game space has changed a lot since I last saw it. So, York is going to clutch his chest for a moment, whisper a prayer to Elaine, cast Protection, Good and Evil. I am assuming these things are elementals.
They are.
Right, well that works in every conceivable way. And then I'm gonna...
The snake is buff, says Chad.
and then I'm going to provoke an attack of opportunity from both of them and move over here.
Cool.
But they are attacking me at disadvantage at this point. Protection.
Sweet. Okay.
So hang on one second. Until the spell ends, one willing creature you touch, is protected against celestials, elementals,
No worries. So
does it have a disadvantage on attack rolls against the target?
great. So the salamander is going to try and spear you as it goes, and it really doesn't. And the fire snake is going to attempt to grab you as well. Oh, and it crits you. Oh no, disadvantage. Boo! The fire snake does not crit you, in fact. These stupid armor 18. What are you supposed to do about that?
I quite like the way you've been describing it so far. Elaine's chalice appears above me, and
There is a golden chalice that pours a shimmering blessing around you, and it seems to repel. The ward seems to. We've really made the difference. Seems to deflect these creatures' attacks.
Freya, get in here!
You've been called for. However, there is another fire snake that is going to. How fast are they? They're not fast enough. Okay. So it can make it to York, but it can't make it anywhere else. So it's going to come by and it's going to attack at disadvantage.
Swolmander.
15, 17. I think that hits you. It does. Ha! Be hit. All right,
It
York.
was going to happen sooner or later.
Would you like to? So it's moved and it's made a bite attack at you. So it does you. Let's see how much it does. Okay, so its fangs do not penetrate your armor. They bite, and there's a and you can see it's trying really hard to get through at your shoulder. It's slithered up you. These things are quite mobile. It's leapt up almost 5 feet and has attempted to grab your shoulder. The fangs have not gone through, but please take me 3 points of fire damage from the heat. It's then going to attempt to hit you with its tail, which it really doesn't. Attacking armor class of 18 with disadvantage, that's going to go really well. That was them. It is now the salamander's turn. With a great roaring flame coming out like tendrils from its mouth, like I'm trying to think, the fish that have those strange moustache things. It's like those lingering limbs of fire come flickering around its head, and it is going to move. Now this is quite fast, so it's going to go, but it is also quite large. Okay, so it's going to slither its way around this way, and it's going to have a go at you. And as it goes past, you can see, Yorg, that this thing looks at you with baleful intent, and it sniffs at the ward that you've put up, and it's decided to go elsewhere.
That seems entirely reasonable.
So, this is going to be fun. It makes a lot of attacks. Freya does a plus, not enough. That's annoying. Okay, so it misses you with its spear. Oh yeah, hits you with the tail. That's good. Would you like to please take me? All right. The salamander comes, slashes in with its spear, and Freya ducks out of the way. And the spear goes overhead and shatters a bit of masonry. Its tail, however, that you managed to duck one, but it struck both high and low, and it's swept around, and it has grabbed you with its tail. You are grappled, and can you please take me? You don't have any resistances, do you?
No.
18 points of damage.
Okay, I'm down.
Oh man.
Freya is grappled and starting to catch fire.
Yes.
It's going to go really well. That was the salamander. A fire snake is going to. It's going to go for York because that's what it's going to do. Can you please move?
This one, I think it was this one.
That's fine. Yeah.
No, it was this one.
It's going to go through its friend's space. And
no, that's the one that wrapped itself around, isn't it?
It doesn't really matter. There's 3 fire snakes involved that move to do with it. It's going to go at disadvantage at armor class 18. It's another crit that it doesn't get. They can't. They're being turned away by this blessing. That was it. Freya, you are
On fire.
on fire,
I'm down.
unconscious, grappled. Make me a death saving throw.
What do I add to death?
Nothing. You need to get a 10 or more
I
to
got
pass.
12.
You have passed 1 death save. There should be a box somewhere in your character sheet, but just write down somewhere you have passed 1. Pass 3 and you stabilise. Fail 3 and you die. Iris, Freya has gone down and is grappled by a flaming salamander.
My first death thing.
Iris, we need help.
Your first?
It really isn't.
Oh, no, it's this one. I think it's the first one she's made.
Oh, I see.
But there's salamanders and all.
If you've got spells, use them. Salamanders and
Yeah.
nails.
Okay. What we are going to do is
Cast invisibility and run away.
It's really tempting, but I don't have invisibility. Okay, put out fire.
Iris, what's happening down there? Are you safe?
Yes, there's
Iris.
something down there.
You turn around and you see there are 3 snakes made of fire which are snapping at the heels of York, and a great big salamander, like a huge giant python, has grappled the Lady Freya and is squeezing the life out of her. Freya is unconscious and choking, it looks like. Even her unconscious form is coughing from the heat and the steam coming off this thing.
Okay. I think
20 minutes in and we're into death save. This is good.
I'm going to come up here so I can see Freya.
Sweet.
Stand next to some fire snakes because that seems like a good idea.
You are not attacking at disadvantage anymore who would like to make an attack because the light is now very visible. Jacob's brought a torch back.
Go me. And I think I'm not able to heal her properly, and so I'm going to cast Sanctuary on herself and me as a bonus action.
It's a bonus action. Oh,
Yep.
that's so good.
So
Is it a bonus action cast?
Yep.
Grace.
There you go. You have Sanctuary.
Grace,
I have
Grace,
Sanctuary.
Grace. Nice.
Wow.
Can I see Sanctuary,
You
please?
certainly can. There it
Thank you. Right.
And then I will use a cantrip to attack. Let's give. So I'm standing next to a snake, aren't I?
You are.
I will use Shocking Grasp on the one that is here.
Great. Is that a melee attack?
It is.
Please make it.
Yep.
That's a hit. It's a real hit.
But it's only D6.
Yeah, but it's
So
not
6.
6.
And it has no
Hey.
reactions.
The reason it has no reactions is because, so Iris runs and does a bunch of different things. Firstly, Iris mutters some words, grabs the amulet hanging around her neck, and around her and around you, there's a spectral form of a pair of wings, great white feathery wings that come out and cloak around you. And these wings force themselves, they kind of erupt from your back. They're not real, they're spectral. They erupt from your back and they push the coil of the salamander off of you and it drops you. They also, coming forward with this protection, Iris reaches out, touches one of the fire snakes and runs some electricity through her hand, and the fire snake is no more because they are not resistant to electricity. Would you please, however, take me 3 points of damage? Fire damage, if it matters. Neve, you are up.
I am going to focus my will on the water in the pool. I'm going to speak some words of power, and I'm going to throw up a wall of ice
Okay.
between Freya and the salamander.
Oh, I love it.
Zap! There it is.
That is extremely cool. Neve, you reach out. The water in this pool is water of a well source. You feel that when you start to manipulate it. And there is a sudden, like a wave, a splash of water comes up and then freezes mid-fall. And there is a little crest of ice blocking the salamander from the Lady Freya, who is now very well protected despite being unconscious. Good job, guys.
Is she currently on fire?
She is not. She was taking heat damage from being next to the thing, which would have killed her. The fire elementals, what are they going to do? They're going to... Okay, so the
How
fire...
do they feel about this wall of ice?
They really, really are... Yeah, they don't like the cold that it's giving off. So, you see both the salamander and the... This fire snake is merely going to retreat away. It's going to go to there, away from the cold. That's all it's going to do. Back to the warmer room. York, you're up.
We're gonna.
There is a... So as the fire snake... Iris, as you touch the fire snake, the electricity... It seemed to vaporize this creature. It shattered down to ash, and there is now an ashen fire snake form on the floor.
There's no corpse.
There is no corpse. It is ash on the floor. So I'm just describing that there is ash on the floor.
Freya, you are instructed in no uncertain terms to get up. on a fundamentally divine level, and you heal
What are you casting?
3 points of damage. Healing word.
Healing word. Wow, sweet. Okay, so Yorg, with a bonus action, turns and what do you say? What is the healing word? Or the healing word?
What's the healing word of today?
Anything you want. Verbal component only.
In Elaine's name to your feet, and then I'm going to lump this thing next to me in the face.
How much hit points do you give?
3.
You have 3 hit points. You are no longer taking death saving throws, and you are back conscious.
And
you hear in Elaine's name, get to your feet. Yorg sense this, and it kind of reverberates around the chamber slightly louder than it should, and you hit one of these fire snakes for... You really hit it.
I really hit it for 10 magic.
10 magic damage. Also, hello Ash. He said hi, I realised because Ash on the floor. There we go. 10 damage, which you've got a big magic axe.
I have got a big magic axe.
You cleave a chunk out of this fire snake, which falls to the floor in a bunch of ash, and you can see that you have reduced its form. It immediately flails away from you. Please take 3 points of damage.
Yep, that's what I expected.
Okay, and back round. It's this one who is going to say, "Ooh, didn't enjoy that at all." Yeah, so it's going to slither away from you because you've got a magic axe. You may make an attack of opportunity if you would like to.
Very much like to do that.
Sweet.
That also hits and does 12 points of magic.
12. Yeah! Alright, sweet. So it tries to go for you, Iris, but before it gets to make a wisdom save to see if it gets to attack you, it is lumped. It is lumped. Yorg, you raise the axe, and you just feel the power going straight through this thing. It feels right to be using this weapon against these creatures. And while you don't get any verbal communication through from Lancelot, there's a sense of satisfaction as you thunder into one of them, and it disintegrates into yet more ash on the floor. Yeah, magic weapons. Who knew, huh? It goes straight through things. It is now a salamander, therefore. Yeah, he's dead. He's the one still alive. It is a salamander who is going to... Oh, I don't know what it's going to do. It's a bit annoyed at you guys. But you have killed 2 of its kids. So it is going to bull rush. The salamander moves over to this way. So it moves so it's facing the opening in the entrance where you guys are. Coils itself up to its full height, which is quite tall. It scrapes the roof of the cavern. Its sinuous body is no longer coiled in a pool at the floor. It's like a great tree trunk, and you can see it tenses. And it's going to 19. Suck it. It's going to leap across the water at you. Although had it failed, it might have had second thoughts and gone, "Oh, I'm in the water." And it's going to bull rush you guys. So normally,
is that for both me and Iris?
It is large. It's going to go through those squares. Can you please both make me athletics checks?
Yes.
No, just these 2.
16.
It's large. It rolls
8
with
for now.
advantage. 8 for now.
Does this help in any way in this regard? It's not an attack, but I don't know how this is going to affect it.
I'm going to say no.
Okay.
What do you get? Sorry, York.
16.
16, and Jacob, I'll
8
say
for now.
Iris, you're taking the help action. Is the way that I'm going to do this. York is the person who's going to take the brunt of the blow.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, because it also gets a 16. So I think what happens is, if you use your your magic ability, currently it is made it to the other side, and it is bearing through on you, and it is currently a force of strength between you and Yorg and the great coiled fire snake that is lumbering over you. It's gonna push you down back through the stairs unless you intervene.
High Ideas Reactor.
High Idea Reactor. Does this story have Arthurian characters? I have used the names of Arthurian characters for the gods in my world.
For the gods of the cool part of the continent.
The cool part of the continent,
Not
that's right.
racist Viking guys down south.
So, are you going to use your ability? If you do, I'm telling you right now that you will lump this thing into the water. Alright.
For the benefit of chat, that is favoured by the gods. It's a class feature of
Divine Soul Sorcerers.
Divine Soul Sorcerers, which I have yet to use. So
this is the first time.
and I still don't get to roll the dice.
the creature leaps at you,
Oh, nice.
and the spectral wings that are enfolding around Iris buffet it back, and it is knocked backwards into the water, which it deeply doesn't enjoy, going into the cold pool, and it tries to scream, and the scream that this thing makes is like the hissing of a fire, but loud and echoing and unpleasant, and it is prone in the water right there. That was a salamander. Good job. Freya! It's taken some damage, but not very much, and it's still around.
Freya is going to... Will I provoke attack of opportunity if I try and walk past this?
Not if you disengage.
Not if you take a bonus action disengage, because you're a rogue.
I'm going to do that,
Yep.
and I'm just going to move back here.
Don't let her pass. I'm sorry.
Freya, the Lady Freya picks herself up and, somewhat charred and blackened, she stumbles, scurries through you guys and makes her way down to... You can now see that there's a dark opening behind where the altar was. The altar has moved out of the way, and there are some steps leading down behind you. Iris.
So it's in the water,
It is.
and there's. Okay, it's made of fire though, so that's really not an awesome idea.
You could try using fire attacks on it.
Yeah, I think that might just heal it.
It's not an iron golem, I mean...
Ugh. Fuck those things.
Okay, in that case, I think that thing is already in the water. Okay, we will use Hold the Dead on it then. That's a fun thing.
Oh, better save these spells.
Yeah. Can it take me a wisdom saving throw, please?
I doubt
DC
it.
14.
Yes, it can.
Then
Natural
it takes
20.
no damage.
Very wide.
There is Your Toll the Dead has been deeply underwhelming.
Yeah.
There's been a...
It's always just a slight tinkle of the day.
But the sound doesn't travel very well in the mist. Would you like to do anything else with your action, Iris? Or
That's my action, and as a bonus, no. I'm good.
Sweet. Neve, you're up. There was a great
That does,
splash.
however, make Sanctuary go away, which is sad.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, because I'm in.
I'm
First spell.
Does it lose it for both of you?
No.
That's awesome.
going to move my wall of ice and try and drive this one back into the room.
Like it.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yes. That is not a thing you have to make a roll for. You lose... In fact, you let go of the concentration, and the water that you were holding in a wall of ice goes onto the thing, and you sweep another wave up. You can sweep it into this creature if you want to. It won't do damage. Yeah, it won't do damage, but... Okay,
That's cool.
There's a wave that goes and freezes around the fire snake. It is trapped in a corner and might try and smash out and get into the room, which is, I think,
It's in there.
what it's going to try and do. That's a really good suggestion. Let's get away from this horrible stuff. Okay, yeah, the fire snake doesn't go for the room. The fire snake goes... It scurries over the wall and around the wall of ice, and it runs back into this room here. It has fled. York.
I'm going to take a step forward and lump this thing in the water.
Do it.
Is that at advantage?
Yes, it's prone in the water. Poor salamander.
That very much hits.
You really hit, oh, class 15. For anybody who cares.
13 points of fire.
13 points of fire
That's 13
damage.
points of magic damage.
Okay. 13 points of damage.
Is it going to do splash damage on me if it's in the water?
So what I'm going to say is you swing down with the axe of Lancelot, which cuts straight into this thing. This thing is more solid anyway than the fire snakes, and the axe bites into it, and there is a of steam that rises from the water as its body submerges, and you can see it's taking a whole bunch of damage just from being in the water anyway.
Okay.
So it is going to attempt to... Here it is. It's going to slither out of the water and try and... it is going to... Can you please make me an athletics check?
Really rather not, but okay. That is
Get
going
a
to be...
22.
No.
Okay, so it slaps the axe out of your hand. And then it slaps the axe out of your hand with its spear.
Yeah.
And then it knocks it into the pool of water with its tail.
Noted. Option 2 it is.
That is what it does on its turn, because fuck that magic damage, that's
Seems
rubbish.
reasonable.
Freya.
I'm going to shoot my crossbow at it.
Okay,
Does
sweet.
seem reasonable.
There are a lot of things between you and it, but it is very large. And you have sharpshooter anyway, so you can...
Yeah, maximum means it doesn't
That's
matter.
really awesome.
It's prone.
It's not prone, it's got up. It's,
Okay.
it is there now. It is not on the in the water.
Oh, it's not in the water.
So
No,
it's standing.
it's
here.
got out of the water. It's not, yeah.
Do I get sneak attack on it at range? Because it's...
If
not
you
on
have
range
advantage,
within-
yes, but you don't have
I don't.
advantage.
Okay, in which case I will use my marksman, so I'm not...
Yeah.
I'm getting
Minus 5 plus 10.
And I did not hit.
Okay, cool. There's a and a bolt goes flying past the creature. It doesn't notice.
You are no longer sanctuaried.
I forgot.
That's all right. Iris, you're up.
Okay.
It's right in front of you.
It is.
It hasn't attacked you though. It
No, it
disarmed
hasn't.
Yorg because that was the
Yeah.
right thing for it to do. Because magic damage is horrible.
Okay,
Right, another
I'm
bonus.
going to... It's standing next to me though, and I don't want it to stand next to me. So I'm going to, again, use Shocking Grasp. That seemed to work last time.
I mean, I've got these spell levels, but I hear that they're.
We're doing fine. It's not like people are taking death saves. That's...
Yeah.
Okay, so it's actually a D8. Which can I buy a D8? My D8's all disappeared.
I'll give you one in a second.
Thank you.
There you go. You may have this D8.
Thank you.
You can have that D8. It doesn't do
Two,
very
and
much.
it can't take reactions, so I'm going to walk away from it.
Okay. Yes, you walk away, and so Iris reaches out and just gently touches the thing. Please take me 3 points of fire damage.
Well, that's an effort to attack me.
Just from the heat of this creature. And it's actually no, I'm sorry. It's 7 points of fire damage because
That's
this,
much
because this
bigger.
thing is much bigger and much hotter.
Yep.
In fact, you feel that as the lightning courses through it and you see it stalls and jitters away, so you are free to back away from it. It takes some of the skin off your fingers. It's pretty grim. That happened. Neve. Chat says, Neve gonna fuck this up.
Just made a space for you to come in.
I think I'm gonna do more of the same. I think I'm gonna put that wall of ice between us and the salamander.
And by us, you mean everyone but Yorg. Cool.
Are you going to include some ice crenellations
Yeah.
so you can shoot out?
Let it go.
I love this ability. I think it's really cool. Yeah. This is. I mean, it's so hot in here that the ice is. It's more of a small wall of water. This is shaped water that Amy's using, which is the best cantrip in the world.
I can freeze it.
You can, but it's not going to stay frozen
Yeah.
very long here. So you create a sort of a weeping wall of ice, which it does get this thing to back away a bit, which it didn't enjoy. Yorg, you're up. Your axe is in the pool, friend.
Cool. So is it. I'm going to grapple and try and... I'm going to dogpile it into the water.
Oh my days.
It rolls with advantage because it's large.
I have a feeling that I might be as well in a minute, depending on what I roll.
Fine by me.
Yeah, you know what? We're gonna use my inspiration. And,
Sounds good. Yeah, you use it.
go
Yes.
again.
Reroll that.
That's what it's for.
It's only slightly better. 18.
18 is exactly what it gets.
Haha.
So I will say, because it is large, it is squeezing on the ledge. That is fine. Are you just going dogpile into the
I'm
pool?
just going low, around the waist, centre mass, just straight back into the water, both of us.
You see Yorg, the Viking soldier turned paladin, who has had his axe stripped from him, cracks his knuckles, squares up, and bull rushes the giant snake made of fire. Please take me 7 points of fire damage as the pair of you go flailing with a great splash into the water. And you do it a whole bunch more damage. Yay. Yay for going back in the water. Stop doing that. Okay.
I mean, it also gets me closer to my axe, and this is a convenient side effect.
Freya, you're up.
Is it prone?
Yes.
I'm going to shoot
Of
it
all
again.
the times to not miss,
I
now is
am
it.
not going to use my marksman.
Oh, it's also worth pointing out that you will be at disadvantage for this because it's prone and at distance.
Yeah, disadvantage at range when prone. Or advantage when attacking in melee when
If you
prone.
walk up to it and
see.
stab it, you'll get advantage.
It's a bunch of archers trying to shoot you. If you drop prone, they can't hit you as well.
Fair.
That guy with the magic axe.
I am.
You can go close and shoot it. That's fine. I'd do that.
I don't want to go next to this thing.
It's really hot.
Yeah, you've
It's
already
giving
been
off some
done.
intense heat, and the room is now filling with steam.
Right,
Also,
so
you're very, very fragile at the moment.
But
I'm
he's
not
got lizard.
using marksman.
Okay, but you are just shooting this thing.
And like, yeah.
With disadvantage, I'm afraid.
I mean, I got a 3, so I doubt.
You might get a natural 1.
Nope.
That's fine. There's another. There is a crossbow bolt that goes right past you.
Not the first time this happened.
Iris, you're up.
It's in the water, right?
It is in the water.
I'm going to cast sleep.
York is in the water as well.
Cast sleep here, so it doesn't hit York.
Oh,
Please roll me your sleep damage. You might put it to sleep.
So let's try.
If you roll extremely well.
I am going to use Empowered Spell to re-roll those 2.
Okay.
Okay, that's reasonable.
How much?
12.
Oh my god, Iris is doing a half-hold sizzling.
14, 19, plus 8, 27.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you right now, 27 is insufficient to put the salamander to
Can I have
sleep.
a D8 back? Because I need that to smite. I might be doing my face in a
Oh,
second.
that was worth trying.
That was certainly worth trying. It has got slightly too many hit points. Need, you're up. It is taking damage from being in the water.
Yeah, and I thought if it's asleep in the water, then it's eventually just going to evaporate.
Yeah, it's a really cool
No,
idea.
it would fall asleep in the water and then immediately take damage and wake up.
Well, yeah, maybe, but still be flailing in the water. It's a cool idea. I
No,
like it.
it's absolutely cool idea.
Neve, what you gonna do?
I am going.
Stupid players not using their spell slots.
What do you want?
That's fine, yeah, thank you.
I'm going
It's CR5.
to give Freya one of the healing potions that I've got
Cool.
on my belt.
Excellent.
You get
2d8 plus 4.
2d8, 2d4.
2d4.
Is it 2d4? Alright, 2d4 plus 4.
Yeah, healing potions are always D4 in.
Yeah. So that is
12 hit points.
12 hit points
That
back.
was
From
still
those
2
diseases.
4s in a
You are
row.
welcome.
I don't. That's the best rolling of a D4
Is
I've
that my
seen in a
whole
while.
action?
Yes, potions are an action to administer or drink.
Okay. For goodness sakes, you can't shoot anything when you're in this state.
And Freya's like, I'm fine.
Dang.
Shut up, Mum!
I am Doggo.
Clang! It's like
I
currently Freya's
completely
accurate.
see there's something there.
There's some shapes between you're up. Another crossbow bolt goes right
Whoa!
in the water.
I am going to. I'm grappling this thing.
You are grappling this thing, that's right. Well, it's cold around you for sure.
Well, no, you're in charge of the grapple at the minute, aren't you? So there are bonus actions you can do when you're winning a grapple, aren't there?
No, you are grappling this
We
thing.
don't have the 750-page grapple supplement.
No, it's really easy. You're grappling it.
Yeah.
You can make an attack against it. You can release the grapple, or you can try and knock it prone and keep it in the water. Okay, so
With a
headbutt.
smite.
You're going to headbutt with a smite.
I don't see why not.
Well, if you hit.
Roll me to attack.
Let's see how that works. That is.
You don't get your proficiency for unarmed.
I mean, that's really cool.
Ah, shit. It's only a 12.
You do not hit the
Do I not have
salamander.
advantage to hit it if it's grappled?
No, because you are also
No, I'm
grappled.
also grappled. That's fine.
If it's prone, then yes, but you didn't.
I bounced off it.
Okay, so can you please take me 7 points of fire damage?
Oh no!
I'll halve it. You can take me 3 points of fire
That's
damage.
fine. I'll live that.
Yeah, York goes wham, and his a bunch of wet hair and mail slams into the salamander, who headbutted him right back. And yeah, a Glasgow kiss. Says Chad.
Divine Glasgow kiss. I like it.
Holy Glasgow kiss. It is now the salamander who is just so pissed off with you. Right, so it's grappled. It doesn't like being grappled.
It's also a
In the
disadvantage
water.
to attack me
It's a disadvantage to attack you.
because I have protection good evil. It's
Yep.
not a concentration spell.
That's really horrible. Okay, so it's going
Suck
to.
it, you big scaly turd blossom.
It's going to attempt to. Hi, friend.
Just strip it
It's going to
back.
attempt to break out of the grapple.
That seems
That's its
entirely
action.
reasonable.
It's got advantage. It's larger than you are. It rolls like
20.
toss. Yeah, it doesn't get that.
Fuck you! I may not be able to fucking smite it, but I can seemingly wrestle the serpent.
The fire snake
This is so
is
elegant.
diminishing. It discards its spear and grabs the side of the pool and tries to pull itself out. And behind it, in the now heating water, Jorg appears, grabs it, and pulls it back in.
Fuck you! You're coming down with me!
Freya.
It may be large and have advantage, but I am wearing a chainmail and at this point
You're very
solid
heavy.
through
You're just
gambeson.
like, down we go.
All I need to do is sink and hold on at this point.
Is it touches? Oh, no, you're all good. That's fine. It fails.
I am just going to shoot again.
Great.
Without using much.
You're not at a disadvantage anymore.
No, I didn't hit.
What was the roll?
5.
Plus 10. Yeah, it's like 15 AC, isn't it?
Insufficient to hit. Iris, Freya. Neve is desperately trying to patch you up as you're going.
Still, please.
I'm fine. I'm fine to operate across
You are. I mean, it's like you're drunk. You've been knocked unconscious and,
very
nearly
hot in
burned
here.
alive. It's really hot.
She dry fires it at least once.
Okay, let's try this again. Could you take me a wisdom saving throw, please?
Yeah,
That's
now
14.
it might work. Or what is this?
No, this is not sleep.
Toll
This is
dead.
Oh, Toll the Dead. No, I cannot make a Wisdom 14 saving throw.
And it has taken damage.
Yes, it really has. It's taken loads.
So, 3 damage. Necrotic.
It's not resistant to
Need a
necrotic.
little handbell.
I might buy you one.
Get one of those.
Yeah.
Get one of those things.
Kind of does it once.
Yeah.
It's not very sonorous. It doesn't roll.
Right,
It just
Neve,
ding.
you're up. It gets better at level 5. It's 2d12, that's quite good.
Or if I throw a sorcery points in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what I'm going to do...
You haven't rolled above 3 yet.
You actually haven't. That's slightly depressing on a D12. What did you do to D12s in the past?
Forget my wall of ice. Can I see where York's axe is in the pool?
I mean, I'll allow it'd be an action to search for it.
Yeah.
Like,
then
there's a very large angry snake and a very large
I'm
angry
gonna-
crowd
I'm gonna
just sort of
try
roiling
and
around
find
in this
it.
water at the
What do you
minute.
want me to roll?
I would like you to roll me an investigate check, please.
Investigate. There it is, which is 5.
5.
Yeah.
There's a lot of snake in that water.
There's a lot of
There's a lot
snake
of
in that
snake.
water.
Cool.
Yeah, you come down. The heat actually makes it really difficult. So on a 5, you can stick your head into the water to try and find out where the axe is, and you
I'm
will.
not an idiot.
No, you think you. Alright, I'm just saying, you think you see where it is, and I'm giving you the option. You can succeed but take damage
No.
or take the fail.
No.
Great, you fail.
That's fine.
So you do not know where it is. Jorg.
The ding of moderate inconvenience.
Jorg.
Uh,
At the start of your turn,
yeah.
please can you take me 7 points of fire damage?
Hot?
No. You're taking some of it from this thing, and the water is heating.
Oh, shit.
That's fine. We're still good. It's just a little.
Right, let's try this again. That hits. Right, you bastard. Can your mother sew?
All right.
So if I recall, it's 1d4 halved for unarmed.
No, it's 1 point of damage. You are not proficient. You do 1 point plus strength mod. That is what unarmed strikes do, unless you are a monk or have proficiency. That's it.
Or have smite.
That's strength mod. That's the thing.
1 plus strength mod. Wham! Man, pick up the tab.
Next 2d8. There we go.
We'll just cross off the monk.
2d8. Does his smite do extra damage against an
Yeah,
element?
that is a very good question. It says fiend or undead.
Unfortunately,
in your
the answer is yes, it do.
Oh, okay. In that case, we will do
100%.
5 points of damage plus.
Some.
Let's try that again. So that is
How much you do?
8, 20. Does it count as magical if it's a smite?
It halves the 1 point of damage that you
No,
do
that
from.
was the 5
Oh,
from
half
the because it's plus my strength
Oh
mod.
my god, it's still alive. Sweet. Right.
Until its turn when it dies in the water. Hopefully.
Right. So on its turn, the salamander is going to attempt to escape the grapple. Do you get it better than a 16?
I get a 12.
Oh, you're talking. Yeah, hooray. Okay, so the salamander's whole action.
I think you're a bit.
This thing pulls itself. Its tail slaps Yorg once, it slaps Yorg twice, and Yorg goes back into the water, and this thing pulls itself out. It is dripping wet. Gouts of like black smoke are coming off this thing, like a bonfire that's been heavily rained on. And it pulls itself out, and it screeches at all of your faces. Freya, you're up.
I'm gonna shoot it.
Twang! Fuck off!
No marksman. I actually hit it.
Hooray!
Do I get sneak attack?
You don't need it.
Okay.
Roll some damage.
Do you do 2 damage to it?
Yes.
Congratulations!
Might get resistance.
That's true. Do you do 4 damage to it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right, okay. There's a thwang, and this thing, you shoot a bolt straight between its eyes, and it starts to like, what's the word I'm looking for? Disintegrate right in front of you. Its scales fall off with one at a time, and bits of its flaming whiskers drop like ash. And Yorg, you get a mouthful of ash as this thing. There is a thin coating now on the top of this pool of the chalky black ash. And you have dispatched the salamander. Congratulations, guys. Freya gets all the experience.
That is how that works, I understand.
Yeah, that went well.
The Holy Glaswegian did, in fact.
Okay.
Is the fire snake still around, or is that gone now? Like
Well,
that's
it's
out of sight.
Probably still around. It's left the
It's not.
arena.
It's not coming back for a.
Is the
fight
water
right now.
still hot enough to be
I-
a problem?
I'm gonna.
Idea reactor, that's an amazing idea. We'll talk about it in the break.
I am
It's cooling.
going to come and help your
Can I put my
out
feet
of
on
the
the
water.
water?
Can you put your feet on the bottom? Yeah, just.
Okay. I'm alright.
Kind of like tiptoes, but yes, you
I
can.
need to go fishing. Give me a second.
Neve, who was looking for the axe, now that the thing has gone, you can see where it was, so you are able to point Yorg in the right direction.
I'm going to shake water and lift the whole pool of water up.
You can lift a 5-foot cube of it.
Cool. I'm going to lift the 5-foot cube where his axe is up.
Which I assume so it's much shallower.
The axe isn't in it. It is now dry in a spot.
Oh man, that's amazing. So yeah, you go and lower your head, and you see a bunch of water rising, and it's like Moses and the Red Sea. There is for the rest of you, you can see a floating sphere of water that Neve has just raised up, and yeah, you can see that there is an axe drying on the floor.
I'm gonna grab that.
You reach your hand out of the water and pull the axe back in. It's a very surreal experience.
Didn't realise I could smite on the face. That was interesting to the axe. And then I'm gonna come up, roll onto my back, and sort of like comedy spurt of water out of my mouth. And so I'm like, ow, ow. How do you like your paladin broiled?
Amazing.
Well, I'm going to take a bath.
Are you actually going in?
Well, you said this was
Why not?
well.
It's
well
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the
May
nice
have some
sauna.
healing properties.
It certainly might.
It's been a while since I've been to a sauna.
This is actually the cold room.
That's fine.
I mean, it's quite hot.
It's
cold
quite
room
hot now, yeah.
but
Then I'm going to go and check at the doors and make sure that there's no sign of the fire snake coming back.
you can't see the fire snake.
I shall go and have a look. What's going on in here? Just check there's no
Yeah,
more fire
what's
snakes
in
coming.
there?
You look in there, and you can see that there are a couple of broken eggs. This looks like a nest. This area. There are. It looks like bits of cupboard and ruins have been put together, and it's still really hot. There's a semicircle of broken stones that are glowing with heat, and you can see that clearly this is where the fire snake and salamanders roost. This is what it is. It doesn't look like there's a great deal else in there.
Did anybody else get hit?
Freya, how are you doing?
I'm okay.
I think we're all right.
Alright.
Take a moment to breathe.
We take a short rest? Or...
You need to.
Have a
That's fine.
scene with somebody.
That's fine.
But you can have a scene as a party, that's fine.
Josh, how does short rest work in your campaign?
Short rests in my campaign. I hate the idea that you have to find an hour, because a long rest is you recovering all your abilities and recharging, and that happens overnight. Cool. A short rest is you taking a breather, and it can be as little as going, we okay? We all right? We've had a fight in combat. Anyone need healing? Are we all? That's exactly what a short rest is. You're patching yourselves up. You're checking how it was. You're deconstructing the previous fight. You're talking about what might happen in the future. And I say you have to have an emotional scene. It doesn't have to be deeply emotional. It doesn't have to be high drama, but it has to be a moment of connection between you and at least one other PC. It's an incentive to roleplay, which this group certainly doesn't need.
Are there any scales on the floor, or is everything ash?
These things have turned to ash.
That's fine.
So, Iris is going to come over to Freya. Freya,
You're a little one.
you really need to work on your aim.
It's dark.
Wasn't dark outside.
Neve was just all you know. You had the torch.
If he doesn't come back, I am going to be incredibly annoyed.
If he doesn't come back. Oh yes. Sorry about that.
Do we know?
That was. I didn't mean for that to happen.
I didn't mean for him to turn up in the first place, so I don't know how to get him back.
Can you ask?
Ask who?
The book.
You said he came from the dragon.
Sure, but he was the link to the dragon. He poofed away once and went and had a chat with it and then poofed back.
I very much doubt something like that would be able to be. I don't know. It's a fucking dragon, right?
Well, it's only a little dragon.
Maybe
Yeah,
it
it's
needs
not
a
a dragon.
We
sacrifice.
managed to just kill some little elementals.
Not so little. You try taking a bath with one.
York, I think you just need to just sit for a little moment. You've swallowed a lot of water.
I smote it with my face.
Yeah, you did. Well done. Well
With my
done.
face.
You did it. You did it.
With my face meat.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing just sort of basic field dressing medicinal stuff.
This was an
And-
example of an emotional exchange.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so
I'm
the
also
party, yes,
Gonna dry off York's clothes.
lovely. With your water, that's so good. That's such a cool thing. You can do it to everybody. In fact, all your clothes are a
Thank
bit
you.
sodden and damp from the mist and
Thank
steam
you
that's
so much.
in this sauna. And Neve, the water druid, simply wrings the water out of them, and there are small puddles on the floor around you guys.
The amount of time it typically takes to dry out a gambeson is measured in days.
It's measured that no, you don't
ever dry.
ever. No, I'm serious. Gambesons just don't dry.
Iris, what did you see down there?
There's some chanting coming down there, and there's a noise. Maybe that's where the crabs came from.
So the party is going to take a short rest, during which time they can spend any hit dice or whatever they would like to, and I am going to take this opportunity to have a short rest of myself. Please, can...
There was an idea in chat you said you want to talk about.
if you would like
also
to...
needs time to have spray.
That's fine, but if you would like to have a look at chat, engage with them, go to the loo, refresh yourself, that's fine.
Can I
Chat,
use your-
we're going to stay here and keep talking, but we will continue the D&D exploration in between 5 and 10 minutes. We are now on a short
Josh,
rest.
one of the things I need you to think about when we're downstairs is how long into a 10-minute chunk we have been since the start of this combat, including the short rest.
For which?
Protection, good, evil is 10 minutes.
Whoa.
It will be up for a bit.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
Look at where we're at.
That's fine. I'm happy.
Nice.
Paladin's got so few resources.
long rest,
leading
very
into the
refreshing.
next encounter. That's fine.
That's fine.
So, have you spent any hit dice yet?
No.
Okay. You have 3d8. Okay. And remember, to each one you're going to add your con mod.
Is there some tissue? in
So
there?
you decide how many are you going to spend, and then you spend all of them at once. You don't go one. Oh, I only rolled a one. I'll spend another one.
Could you pass me
So
a
there's
couple
a
of
risk
pieces of
reward
liquid?
element to that mechanic.
Wait.
So you go. So how many hit points are you down?
I'm
Try and-
down 9.
You're down 9. Okay.
Yeah.
And what's your con mod?
2.
2. So you're
So-
going to recover at least 3.
Yeah.
So it's probably not worth.
Ooh.
So the average on 2d8 would be what, a 4 and a
Yeah,
5.
rogues get D8 hit points.
Yeah.
It's a brave new world.
9.
Bill.
You would overheal by 4 points if you spent 2,
I'm just gonna
but you would
spend
guarantee.
1.
Okay.
And I got a 1.
Well, there we go. You're only down 6 hit points. I'm in a similar situation. I'm down 14, but I have a +3 con mod. So So 2d. I've only got d6 for my hit dice. So on 2d6, it's looking like a 7. 7 would be average. 7 plus 6 is 13, which is only one short of what I need. So I could spend a third
There was
dice.
some talk of us getting a Discord, wasn't there?
Yeah. So I'm going to roll 2d6.
Oh, yeah,
and I get wow, double 6. That's a waste of a double 6. And I go back to full health.
The plan is to get a Discord.
I spoke to a man about that, a man who runs a Discord channel, and he told me how to do it.
Oh man, that's amazing! Because yes,
very
this is
easy.
like the thing is that I'm happy to set one up. I just literally haven't had the brain space to do so yet. If you know,
Like I said, I found out today how to do it. It seems incredibly simple. I will do it in the near future. So there will be a Discord. Who's talking about Discord?
On chat, Idea Reactor said, "Have you got a Discord?" And yes, the answer is not yet. But we will
very soon. Do you know what?
and I will link it in all of the fun descriptory things that we have underneath.
As soon as there is a
the
link.
screen.
Yeah.
As soon as there is a link.
Because that's one of the first
That
things
is the
happens.
thing that we need to have. It's
It is.
important.
I agree. Although, is the Discord channel going to be available to Patreon subscribers only?
Well, I think there are.
you can
have tiers,
different channels.
different chat rooms.
So Idea Reactor, the things that we mentioned in chat around being careful around the anything around mental health with players and stuff like that is a very valid one.
Yes, we've been talking about insanity within role-playing games, things like Call of Cthulhu and stuff like that.
Well, more specifically, I think Idea Reactor was implying that you have a D&D game, but the D&D game is your DM running the D&D game for some Cthulhu characters who are going steadily more and more insane. That's the gist that I've... So as the campaign progresses, it becomes more and more real for your characters.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a cool idea. I really like it.
That is fun.
One of the more amusing ideas that we spitballed in the past Idea Reactor is we had an idea where Twitch chat is God. So if you pray for something, then a Twitch chat poll gets happened, and then you throw yourself on the tender mercies of the internet, which basically means that you get fucked.
Our gods will be cruel and fickle. Where is the lemon?
Is it all gone? It's fine if it's all gone, but
Lemonade.
is it down there? David is hoarding the lemonade. Thank you.
There we go. Chan has just said if they were God, we would get rocks fall every time.
Oh no, for sure. You don't run it in a like one shots are definitely a thing. One shots I think are very rapidly starting to become my preferred form of games media. I tried coming up with a campaign for my local group recently, and just completely brain farted on it, and then like a week or less later, I had like 2 separate ideas for one-shot campaigns, which I really like. Dread is an amazing system to run one-shots in.
Dread is very good for one-shots, and I think my favourite one-shot system is still Fiasco.
Never played Fiasco. I'd really like to. It feels like our current Starbastard's game should be in a little bit of Fiasco. It feels like that's the current setting.
It's not an ongoing
campaign. This
campaign.
is the thing. The thing about Fiasco is it is designed to be a one-shot.
Sure.
It's you essentially build a film, and it's got
like
breaks
a movie
built into how you do it. There's a point where it says, "Okay, stop now." Go get a drink or something and chat about stuff and step away from the table and.
I hit the fire snake with my face, and it died eventually.
Doug's got shot by Freya.
Yes, I shot it.
Yeah. 1 hit, 1 kill.
Although you did have
1 hit, 1 kill, very much so.
Ooh, that is really fun. I like that very much. Other chat involving options for streaming is that the streamers are leaders of political parties in a high fantasy city, and the chat represents the public who can vote them in and out of government.
Ooh, that's sexy. I like it.
That's cool.
The sacrificial table, like the name, Idea Reactor. You are a reactor for ideas, truly. Do you have some sort of scorpion robot guarding your internal workings?
I didn't get that reference. I feel like a cat.
Idea Reactor is has a Discord for their tabletop, which is called the Sacrificial Table.
cool name.
No, the scorpion thing.
Oh, that was a Final Fantasy VII.
Well, why didn't I get it then? What's the scorpion?
The scorpion robot, literally the first boss you fight.
Yeah.
In the Mako reactor.
Right. Okay, I'm with you now.
They go into spoilers. They go into the Mako reactor with a giant scorpion.
Spoilers for a game that came out in 1990.
I haven't played it. Now I never can.
Well, even bigger spoilers. There's no scorpion thing in the other reactor you go into.
I know, it's terribly dull.
I need to finish playing the Portal games.
If only for the song.
It was a triumph. Making a note right here. Huge success.
That was the first thing that I ever saw of it. No, that's not true. When I was in whatever year it was at school, everybody kept on going around saying the cake is a lie. I had no idea what that was about.
Back when Valve used to make video games rather than run a storefront, in the olden times, some of us older gamers will remember the days when Valve made video games. Portal was a fucking Half-Life. The original Half-Life was and still is a
Fantastic multiplayer, very balanced.
That sounds like a lie. So Portal, I think, is an absolutely amazing game and a way to do. It's kind of like the one-shot video games, right? A short 2-hour experience, right? Portal was absolutely amazing for that. It did exactly enough. It never outstayed its welcome. And then the second one, although not as good, had no right to be as good as it is. It's a very, very good game, the second one as well.
Which Portal? Indeed. Much like my birthday today, the cake is a lie.
Oh no!
Quick, insert an apple turnover into him.
And we are back. All right.
Just for Josh's reference as well, I put 10 points of loud hands into myself.
That is a sensible precaution.
What? I thought it sapped health from you and transferred it to
No, he has a separate pool of hit points that he can just go. It's healing. He has 20 points of healing that he can go. Who wants it throughout the day?
It's amazing. It's basically the best healing you'll ever get in a game because it's incredibly granular. I don't have to go. I spend a spell slot to do some amount of healing.
And you know exactly what
All right. And we are back. Congratulations, team. You have successfully dispatched the salamanders. The party stands in the ancient sauna, it appears. The mist is once again clearing the room, and it is becoming cooler in here, although you can feel heat emanating from down the steps that lead into the darkness behind the moved altar.
I'm not sure how long this blessing is going to last, but if it's going to be around for a little while longer, if we're going to be getting into more trouble, it'd be better sooner rather than later.
And you said you heard chanting down there.
Yes, and
Very, very faint.
The last time we had chanting involved, it was really bad, so let's
get there as quickly as we can.
Sweet. Can I have
Stay
a
together,
marching order, please?
I would like to go in the front.
I'm going to be just behind York.
I'll be.
well, it's 2 by 2, isn't it? So those two in the front, those two in the back.
But I don't have blue gloves.
There is a sudden... okay, so you start making your way, 2 by 2, down the long path. It is quite slippery, like I said, but because you're taking your time and not... I agree that this was where the TPK I thought was going to happen. I thought if you guys went, let's flee from the salamander down into the tunnel, you were in such trouble.
Oh yeah, that's why I don't fall over.
But multiple encounters at the same time is just...
Oh yeah, right.
Do.
Same as with XCOM. Don't trigger multiple pods at once.
So you make your way down through the tunnel, and there is suddenly you hear a like an air vent has been turned on. Is what it sounds like. A sudden, and you feel a rushing of steam up towards you. And who's in front?
I'll shelter my head behind my shield.
You're
instinctively.
You're in front. Can you make me a perception check, please? Yours sheltered his head.
That is 15.
15. On a 15, Neve, you can see that there is a flurry, as you've made your way about 30 feet down, there is a flurry of the steamy elemental things that you saw before surging towards you.
The little methods.
The little methods.
How many?
Maybe 5?
Oh boy, okay.
Destroy water.
Well, that's fine.
They're in a 10-foot cube.
Destroy water! Blam!
I mean,
Don't set precedents. You don't want to beat it, Josh.
I mean, yes. Okay, so
I step in front of Yorg, who has shielded himself, and I speak my words of power. And any water within that space gets condensed down to another blob that I can then carry.
give me this stupid thing. What is it? Right, fine. Neve waits until the last possible moment. She says, hold, hold, and everybody stays where they are. Yorg puts his shield
Race,
up.
race.
Freya and Irish prepare. And just as the Mephits, you can see there are 8 of them. Just as the Mephits are almost upon you, you see them all rear up and take a great big breath in, ready to gout steam all over you. Neve speaks a word of power, spins her hand around, and the Mephits form twists, and they all spiral into this time it's about a volleyball-sized glob of water.
Lovely.
It is warm. It is still steaming a little bit, and the 2 that you had from before are amalgamated into this blob. You now are carrying a sphere of water.
10 methods worth of water. I've never considered that to be a measure. No, that is your. Never considered methods to be a measure of water before, but seemingly
Now we know.
it is.
Congratulations.
Maybe it wouldn't have been a TPK if we come down here.
You have.
Well, if we'd had to deal with them and those at the same time.
And that would have taken one of your actions.
You have. Well, fine. All right. Okay. Cool. Without incident, you make your way down the hallway. Iris, you can't hear the chanting anymore, but I mean, you guys are talking and moving, and there's echoing as you move down. There's the dull of, and it sounds like something cavernous out there. It sounds like a wider space than you're currently within. It's echoey and hard to hear. There's the bubbling and hissing of water, and there's the. You all right? Yeah. That's fine. There's the still rolling sphere of water. So you can't hear the chanting. Maybe you imagined it. But you start making your way down.
Shut up. The fact that I rubbed it off, took it down, rolled the dice, and it was exactly the fucking same is neither here nor there. Nobody needs to bring it up.
And you come out. You see a slightly lit, although most of the light is still coming from the torch, a slightly lit opening at the end of the set of stairs. And as you descend, you are glad that you came down carefully because it ends abruptly, and there is a small shelf which you step out onto, or you can see at the bottom of the steps, beyond which there is a faintly glowing and very much bubbling, like it's a simmering pan, of water that stretches out. There is a large underground cavern. You've come down quite a way, and you realise that most of the island must be hollow because this is where it is. There is some sort of islet further on along the water. If you can take all the figures off the map for me. There is some form of islet further on along, and a series of stones that you can see, rocks and boulders that look like they might have fallen from the ceiling or be natural protrusions, that have been worn smooth with the movement of the water that just about protrude, leading from the shelf where you are. And you can see that the shelf continues some of the way around the large cavern, although it is dark and not super easy to see. And there are a series of stones that lead out across the water. On the islet, through the steam, you can just about make out a large stone structure. It's made out of the same black stone that everything here seems to be, and I will put it on the map.
Oh, look
Oh
at that!
no!
It's a jumping puzzle.
Oh no!
And this is why I took your inspiration things away.
Would you
Oh,
say
their colours.
that inspiration was totally worth it spent on dunking a salamander.
Right, someone can help me pop these out. They are colour coded.
Oh,
Your
man.
convenience.
For my convenience, that's correct. So you guys can do that. All right, and I will. So there we are. This is what it looks like, chat. You'll see there's only one half, and that is because the other half is on the island.
Oh man, this is so cool. There we go.
now you get down there, you can also see that there is a, or you can hear a clicking sound, and you see that there is another rocky outcropping of an island that is over here, and on which you can see an absolutely colossal form. It looks, to begin with, just like a set of like orange boulders, and then it moves gently, and you can see that this is crab number 3.
Oh no!
Big Daddy Crab.
Big Daddy
Mama
Crab.
Wow, that is a big crab.
Of the increasingly larger crabs on this island.
Oh no!
King crab, which was my first and only successful 3D print.
Do I have any rations?
Oh my
left?
goodness, it's a 3D.
That
It
is
is.
a 3D
Do you
print.
mind?
You can have it by all means, that's fine. But we'll talk about that in the break.
Okay, so
Whoa.
what exactly are these?
These are boulders. They are stones that are
Boulders.
sticking out of the ground.
How
You
are
can-
they coloured? Are they painted?
No, they are. There are slight different hues to the rocks that you can see. These colours are not as extreme as this, but you can differentiate. There are different types of boulders that are sticking out of the ground. Please place yourselves on the small ledge.
Can you pass the characters over?
If only one of us was a really nimble acrobat.
Only
I
one
got
of us
this.
had a.
And you can hear. Yeah, you can hear in the cavern. Please make me perception checks, everybody.
Is the crab
What do you get?
11.
16?
16.
What do you get? 13. Which 2 people got 16s, please? Thank you. That's good to know.
Is the crab seemingly aware of our presence in any regard?
Not yet.
Okay. What the fuck is this? So this water.
Do these look like I can reasonably jump between them?
Yeah, I mean, there's maybe a 5-foot jump between some of them. Some of them there's a 10-foot jump, which is going to be quite hard. You could make a 5-foot jump. You are a nimble and spry acrobat. For you, it's not going to be a problem.
I'm going to put my hand on your shoulder and say, take it slow and steady, and you get guidance.
Oh.
Which I always forget to do.
Remembered.
Congratulations. Please gain a
D4?
D4.
golden D4. You have guidance cost.
So
And just
I
remind you of
can
the conversation we had last time about you
see-
didn't want to about inspiration, but you could give out a inspiring.
We'll
D4.
chat about that again. I've had
Okay.
some thoughts about
Okay.
it.
I can see a couple. I can see a path that means you step on one of every type. Is that important?
Might be.
Like go here.
Is it just rocks and we go over the rocks?
Yeah, it doesn't feel like that.
I'm so looking forward to this run.
So the water is very hot.
The water is, now you are here on the edge of the water. There's quite a sheer drop down to the water. You are raised at least 5 foot above the level of the water, and these are stones that are large enough that you can jump on them, and they're approximately the same level as the shelf. The water itself feels quite hot. The steam in this room is cleansing, let's say. It's your pores are very open right now.
Neve,
Yes.
see how far you could send a sheet of ice across before it melts.
Ice across. Okay.
Okay,
So make a 5-foot square, which you then
sure.
push
So
across.
you use shape water to make a 5-foot sheet of ice. It lasts for approximately a round before it just melts
And it would
under
be
the
less
heat of
with-
these things.
Somebody standing on it.
You could probably, you craft the sheet of ice, and it's taking everything you have to try and keep it there, and even then, you are failing against the heat of this thing. However, as you try and manipulate the waters, you are aware that you are very close to the magical well source. You can feel it ahead of you.
So we could maybe, if there was one that was too far to jump, we could use the ice to traverse that.
How far roughly is it across?
You can see.
Those are 5-foot squares, are they?
Yeah, it's about 60 feet, something like
1,
that.
2, 3.
What are we going to do on the other side? Is there something that I can do?
9,
Or are we
10,
going to have to get
55
York
feet.
across?
It's about 60 feet, like I said. I mean, this is approximate, but it's also
Okay.
relatively accurate.
Well, what we need to
Approximately
do
accurate. Yeah.
is we need to work out if we go across, are we going to get attacked at all? If one of us, if the most agile of us goes, the rest of us can defend you.
Alright. Off I go then. Flip.
Which one did you go to,
Oh,
please?
Pepper!
Can you
You're
please
in the
make
middle
me,
of taking a rope off his knapsack as Freya
Please
goes,
make me an acrobatics check.
With an extra
You have
D4.
guidance.
With an extra D4, it is not a hard acrobatics.
Where
I'm telling
the
you
hell
right now,
is
you have
acrobatics?
nailed that check.
13 plus 7, 20.
20.
20.
On a 20, Freya needlessly performs a balletic flip. Your hat comes off mid-flip and you reach out and catch it as you land, waiting for the judges' scores.
Slash the gout of flame.
You land on the rock and it seems really sturdy and stable underneath you. It doesn't move, you don't slip. There's a slight a squeak as you land, and you are on the rock, you can feel the heat from the water. It is bubbling. The whole underground lake is bubbling and steam is coming up from this.
Freya, tie this around your waist. Chuck to the other
You
end of the rope.
Guidance is now spent. If you wanted her to continue to have guidance, you would have to cast it again. Which you can, 'cause it's
Guidance is lame.
really not.
Okay, like guidance is amazing.
But you can now cast it again. For
Does
free.
anybody else have a rope?
I've got rope.
Okay, chuck that over here because I need more than I've got.
Alright.
I'll splice together 2 lengths
In
of...
athletics check, please. You're fine. Yep, it's fine.
2 lengths of 50-foot rope gives us
About 90 feet.
about 90 feet-ish once it's tied round and tied together and stuff like
That's fine.
that.
The boulders are crab knees. Yes, that is correct, Chad.
Which one am I going to do next? People
Try
who know
for
stuff.
that green one over here.
Green. Okay. Alright. I'm going to attempt.
Make me an acrobatics check, please.
With the guidance.
16.
16 is fine. Please make me a reflex saving throw. Dexterity saving throw.
Do I add my dex mod?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
plus
Proficiency, yeah.
Yeah, nice. Okay. 14.
14 is fine. You land on the rock with a slight green hue. It's a large boulder. The jump, not a problem at all. But you leap and you see that there is almost imperceptibly amongst the mist, it's really hard to see, some like a thick lichen is growing over it, which almost causes you to slip as you land on it. Fortunately, you are a master thief and did not. You maintain your footing.
Do you feed that back to
This
the
one's
rest of the
slippery.
Okay.
Right, okay.
Green one's a
Can you nudge me down a bit further so I'm closer to where I'm feeding the rope out closer to...
I think if you try and get a line across these ones.
The crab has picked itself up.
Iris, can you keep an eye on that? I need to keep my eyes on Freya.
Make it think I'm not here or something.
Okay.
Go for the blue one.
Go for the blue one. Keep
So
your
it-
guidance. Go for the blue one.
Attempt the blue one. Acrobatics.
The leap, yes please, acrobatics.
Hey!
The
I'll
blue
tell
one
you,
is a
the
crab.
19 is
Probably enough.
the 19 is absolutely sufficient. However,
Oh no.
can you please describe your leap to me?
I am Freya. I am needlessly doing as big a flip as I can.
What are you trying to land on, your hands or your feet?
I'm trying to do like the hero landing where you like spin and then you're kneeling.
3-point landing.
3-point landing. Sweet. Lady Freya performs an acrobatic somersault, landing perfectly, 3-point landing. And as you do, your fist and knees and feet go and you sink about 6 inches into the rock, which immediately starts to move. You can feel it sucking at you, and there are like pseudopods and weird tentacles that start moving out of the rock and trying to pull
so
you further
gross.
into it. Can you please take me? Oh dear. Fortunately, only 4 bludgeoning damage from the rock as it starts to crush around you, plus... oh, that's lame. 3 points of acid damage
Oh, gross.
as it starts to eat away at you.
No.
I'm going to start trying to pull her in.
Your studded leather
Mhm.
is reduced by 1 on its armor class. Please reduce your armor class by 1 as some of the rivets on your studded leather start to
Was
melt
it actually a pudding?
away.
Pudding, pudding, pudding.
That was its turn.
I'm going to try and pull her. I'm going to try and pull her in. I'm going to try and reel her in.
You don't have the rope, right?
It's
tied
tied
around.
around.
Oh, it's tied around your waist. Okay,
Yeah, that
so-
was the point. She threw the rope back to me so I could make 100 foot of rope.
Okay. Please make me a strength check.
Nat 20.
All right. Fine. On a natural 20, Freya, you are pulled out of the strange lumpen rock.
Can I get it all the way back to the ledge with that as well?
No, that's miles.
Okay.
You are pulled off the rock and you land in the water. It is scalding hot, but you are pulled out. Your hand over hand, you pull her out. So I will. You know what? I will halve the damage. You only take 6 points of fire damage from the water that you land in.
I'm
damage
doing
from the water.
something.
Yeah, it's the type of damage that it is.
Pull you up onto the ledge.
And yeah, you are pulled up onto the ledge. Your arms, you can see, are scalded red from this water. You were in it for less than 2 seconds as you're hoiked
Have you
you
got
out.
anything for her? No, give me a second.
Not
Hang on.
the orange.
Hold your arms out. Hold your arms out. Hold your arms out. And 4 points from my own hands. It's probably enough to take the edge off.
Sweet.
So
However,
4
with the splash and the ooze, which starts moving, with the splash and the ooze, the crab has started to move.
Crab's gonna cook itself.
Well, you would think so. The crab descends into the water, and you can't see it anymore. It is the mist is too great. The water is too unclear. However, at this point, the oozes start to make their way towards you. These things are really slow, and they are moving through the water at not a great speed.
Okay.
What do you guys do? We'll do this out of initiative.
So we know what the blue ones and the green ones and the purple ones are like.
No, we don't know the orange.
We don't know the orange or the green.
Right.
No, we don't know the orange or the red.
How big are these things?
They
They're
are-
literally just like a giant rock thing.
It's like you can see that you have left an impression in it that heals back up.
I don't know how to fight that.
Maybe you don't.
Let's.
I'm gonna try and step out onto the red one that is closest to us here.
Neat.
There was a giant crab that just disappeared.
I
Oh
know.
gosh. Please make me an acrobatics check.
Acrobatics.
Or athletics, I'll take either.
Sure. Okay, so that is a 9.
Fab. So,
You know how you can give yourself guidance?
I
okay.
didn't know that.
So on a 9, Neve attempts to leap onto the rock, but okay, you attempt to leap onto the rock, and you do manage it. You propel yourself with your staff, but you are wrong-footed as you land, and you drop your staff,
Aww.
and it lands with a. It's floating, but it is in very, very boiling water.
No, I'm gonna take it. I'll take the damage.
It's a long way down as well. You're going to need to go in the water to get it.
I'm
No,
on the rock.
No, shape water.
Comes up
grab
with
it.
scarf.
Using shape water. Okay, we'll get there in a second. You have dropped your staff. You have landed on this rock, and the the rock that you land on cracks a little bit, and there's a of steam that comes up, and it from the steam, the rock begins to move around you, and there is a molten lumpen creature that your impact has awakened
Oh no.
that appears there. It looks like a creature made of rock and mud.
Mm-hmm.
And
one of those. We had those earlier.
yeah,
had
you
one
may
of
well have
those
had those earlier. Hang on. It's similar to that. And it is going to have a go at you because you have awakened it and it doesn't enjoy it. So, can you please make me a dexterity saving throw?
Dexterity.
That is correct. As the creature pushes itself out of the rock
It is what I think it is.
and breathes,
Like
it
that.
doesn't exactly like that.
8.
8 is insufficient. Can you please take me 10 points of fire damage?
Ugh, gross. Yes.
We're not initiative. And it is flapping around. It wants to get back into its rock. What are you guys going to do?
I'm going to get my staff back.
Okay, you shape water or are you reaching down to grab it?
I'm reaching down to grab it. I'm going to take it out of the water. I know I'm going to take damage from that. I don't care. I need my stick back.
Cool. Please take me 4 points of fire damage as
Fine.
your hand is scalded raw by
Yeah.
the water that you reach down and pick it up.
Ah!
I am going to prepare an action when I next see the big crab
Okay.
and shoot it.
And I'm going
I'm
to
just keeping an eye out.
jump back over to this side.
Fine.
Not
Make
take
me you know what? You don't need to make me an acrobatics check for that. You're leaping back, that's okay. You leap and you grab hold of the side and you pull yourself back up. You see this creature recedes back into the rock and the rock covers itself over once again.
Cool.
Okay. Not the red ones either then.
Yep.
Alright, if nothing's happening, I can try and get across still. We don't know what
See-
the
Yeah,
orange
yeah,
ones
yeah.
are going to do.
See what happens on the yellow
See what
ones.
happens on the yellow ones.
Yeah. Okay.
You've got your rope tied around you.
That's fine. I'm not
Yeah.
going to make you make a check for that. You've made this jump before, that's okay. Take me a
Be
dexterity
really
saving
careful.
throw,
Take
please.
some guidance.
You
Saving
don't
throw.
get the
Not
guidance.
saving
You're
throw.
fine, you're absolutely fine.
Cool.
It's not a hard DC. That'd be really mean. You're leaping onto a yellow rock.
Yes.
Take me a acrobatics because you haven't made this jump before.
25.
You're fine, so fine, so fine. You land on the yellow rock and you are you're fine. The rock seems stable. It is very hot, and you feel the soles of your boots are they start sticking to the rock a little bit. You can't linger on this
Okay,
rock.
I'm going.
Go
as
quick.
fast as I am allowed to go.
That's
I
fine.
am
Go and leap again.
Leap, leap, leap.
Okay, make me a acrobatics check for the second rock.
11.
An 11. Okay, on an 11, no problems. You make it up. Freya leaps agilely and nimbly onto the rock. And just as you prepare to leap off again, the crab surfaces and reaches up to try and grab you in. What is your armor class, please?
14 now.
14 now. You are hit by the crab. A giant orange pincer comes out and grapples the Lady Freya. You have been grabbed
Grappling me!
and starts trying to pull you down into the water. That's what it's going to do on its next turn. Somebody want to do something about this?
I really do. Yeah, and I'm gonna do it. The steam of the cavern washes around me, sort of anime style, and my hair blows back to the breeze that isn't there, and my eyes silver over.
Oh my god!
And I call down a moonbeam blast right into the middle of that giant crab.
How long does this last for, Amy?
As long as I want it to.
What's the actual duration of the time?
The actual duration is a minute.
I mean, I will say that's enough to clear the room.
But you keep it up for a minute. That's
Fuck you, Uzi boys.
okay. So I'm going to hit you to drop your concentration on this. Right.
I'm a warcaster.
Neve of the I know one spell and it is Moonbeam. A shaft of silver white light, blinding in its purity, centers on the crab, and you manage to shear the edge of it so it does not touch the pincer of the crab, which has got the Lady Freya in it. Lady Freya, can you please make me a reflex save as you are dropped by the crab, not to fall into
What
the
do I add for
water?
reflex?
It's a dexterity saving throw.
Aha, 12.
12 is fine. On a 12, you can take me 1 point of fire damage as you grab onto the yellow boulder and start clambering up. It is yellow because it is glowing very faintly from the heat. The crab, however, takes, what is it, 2d10 damage?
Only if it fails a Constitution saving.
That's quite good at that.
Decent con.
It does have a good comp. So
Did it fail?
No, so it takes half.
Okay, so it takes 5 damage.
5 damage. Okay, that's 5 damage is enough. This crab was not looking for a moonbeam in it, so it has let you go, and it is flailing in the water. It's
I'm
gonna-
getting away from it.
You
If
need
I
a
can, I'm going
moonbeam
to the green
token.
one.
I
So
do.
how big your moonbeam is.
I'll
Was that about right size for
No,
that base?
no.
it's alright. The crab is going to shuffle away from the Lady Freya and it's going to turn and start heading towards you dudes. It's going to wait for the freaking. These guys are moving.
Should we roll initiative at this point?
No, I'm happy to keep going like this. I think this is okay. That occurred. What is everybody else doing?
I'm gonna keep you hold of this fucking rope
Okay,
because if she goes in, she's in real trouble.
that's really true.
That's all I got. I'm keeping an weather eye on these things coming towards us. But Neve, hit what you can with the moonbeam. Try and take as much of it out as you can.
All right.
Also, come over towards me so I can try and defend you when the crab gets here.
Cool.
Okay, please move yourself. That's fine.
Shuffle it.
Freya, would you like to make a leap? Because you're about your.
So I'm not sure how sneaking works. Now that the crab is looking away, can I
Take the hide action.
hide and then shoot it?
Um,
Or do I need
You want to get off this rock
You're
first.
on a
get
hot
off-
rock.
you wanna get
It's
off of that
melting your
rock.
boots.
Oh yes, it is. I'm going to flip to the green one then.
okay, acrobatics check, please.
But then you could bonus action hide. What do you think?
That's
17.
enough. Definitely enough. And then, yes, you get onto the green rock, which is stable and fine. Dexterity
Slip
save,
with
yeah.
green.
Yeah, 19.
Absolutely fine. So you skitter a little bit, but you reach your fingers down and grab into the algae that's on this rock.
Or you could make a bonus action to go for the ledge if you really wanted to. That'd be
I'm
the other way.
going to hide. I want to learn how this works. Okay.
Sweet.
I can bonus action hide.
You can bonus action hide. So you are crouched down on the rock. There is mist. It is, I mean, sure. Yeah, I'll allow you to be hidden from the crab. That is absolutely fine. You are hiding from this crab. Iris, what are you doing?
I am preparing to go next.
Sweet.
Well, there is now kind of a rope strung.
Is totally what I'm going to use, but I'm going to make it
The
tied
blue
to
ones.
Not
something.
purple ones, blue ones.
Purple ones are
ones
stable.
Sorry, thank you.
Purple ones are vanilla. Iris,
But I will
use your bolt
cast
of green stuff. I think.
Sanctuary
Yeah.
on myself and then cast it onto Neve.
Sweet.
So I don't think these things are going to go whiz.
Again, a pair of
Don't cast it on me, I'm casting women!
It's all right. You're still there.
You're
yeah.
casting Moonbeam.
So it's only if I cast a new one.
Yes.
Is that right?
Cool.
So
That is
that is
dirty.
that is revolting, and I call bullshit. Mostly,
to defer to GM.
mostly because I don't want it to happen to me.
Let me have a look at Sanctuary.
Don't teach.
Neem is out and
So look, okay, till the spell ends, any creature who targets the warded creature with an attack. If the warded creature makes an attack or casts a spell, this spell ends. No, maintaining a spell is not casting a spell. You've got your moonbeam up.
That is fucking revolting.
Yeah. So a pair of feathery wings that you can see through. They're like a spectral pair. Cover you over with a shield, and
And then, because that's a bonus action, I will shoot an acid bolt with this crab, because
you will then lose your sanctuary.
that's true, I won't do that. You make a good point.
Just going to put it out there. You could have done the bonus action.
What are
first.
you doing with your?
Fine.
What are you
My
doing with your
moonbeam?
moonbeam?
I am
Learning.
going to train it on that ooze thingy right there and see what it does. See if I can make it pop.
What kind of damage is it? It
It's-
means so much.
It's what have we got here? This
Is it radiant damage?
How would I know?
By the
2d10.
Radiant damage.
Radiant damage.
Gross. Okay,
Yes.
roll 2d10.
2d10.
It gets a con save.
It does get a con save.
It should have quite well.
Yeah, it's not bad. Is a 13 enough to save?
I don't know.
DC
8, 10, 13 is.
13,
Yeah,
yes.
13 is exactly enough. So how much damage did it take
Oh,
on?
well, it was going to take 9, so I guess it takes 4.
5, that's fine.
Right.
All right. You have your moonbeam up. What is your plan with the moonbeam? You have it for a minute.
Well, I'm going to try and keep these things away from Freya.
Right. You have enough moonbeam. The Lady Neve directs her beam of silvery light, and the grey ooze moves and twists and contorts. It's clearly deeply uncomfortable in the moonbeam, and eventually it fizzles out and dissipates.
Oh my gosh! No, not that one.
Blue one.
Oh, sorry. This one is gone. If you would like to train it on the others, you can. Over the course of a minute, you are able to deal with these oozes.
Then I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take out these oozes.
Right, like an orbital laser. Neve, you see the moonbeam scatters across the surface of the water and leaves a little ripples in its wake as it goes and cuts across the rocks. It decimates the oozes. They are cut to ribbons. And make me a Neve. Can you please make me a perception check, please?
Okay.
No, perception's exactly what I want.
That is 17.
17. On a 17, you manage to do this whilst still strafing every now and again, keeping a line of moon between the crab and the Lady Freya. So she is defended from the crab. Freya, are you going to make the jump across?
So would I still be hidden if I did the jump?
No.
Ah,
Sorry. Yes, it's not taking an action to look for you. That's okay. I mean, I'll explain to you how this works. I'm fudging the rules a little bit for this.
that's fine.
In theory, if you take a move now, it sees you move.
Okay. What if I shoot it?
You get advantage and sneak attack.
Okay. And if you'll let me get away with jumping across without hitting me, then I shall do that first. Okay, jump.
Great. Acrobatics or athletics, by the way. It's not a hard jump. Yeah, fine.
25.
Absolutely.
Oh my god.
The DC to make one of these jumps is 10, by the way, so we all know that's what it is.
Cool.
Okay,
Good. Tie the rope up on that end.
Is there anything to
Yeah,
tie
yeah.
it to?
You land on this island.
Oh yeah.
You can see there is a large black stone building in front of you. The mist is pretty thick, it's hard to see, but now you are here, you can see it. You can also hear a strange chanting. Can you make me a wisdom saving throw, please?
Oh, no. 6.
Oh, that's
The answer is no.
absolutely amazing.
Right,
You
it's
hear,
not wise.
Freya, you hear, tie it off on that side, is Yorg's voice, and it seems distant. As through the mist, you see a form that is sodden, bedraggled, and sad looking, moving towards you. It takes off its hat, and it looks at you. And it is Lord Tyndall. And he says,
This is really bad.
"Why didn't you save me, beloved? Why did you let me drown?" We'll cut back to you in a moment. Everybody else,
I need a moment.
Having seen Freya's there, and she's tied us the rope, because you're told her to,
well, maybe.
I'm going to try and use that rope to start traversing.
I'm gonna.
So good.
I am gonna. When I told her to tie off, I am gonna tie it off on my end as well.
What are you tying it to, please?
Is there anything? Well, apologies. Is there anything suitable to tie it to on this side of the room?
Doesn't appear to be.
Fuck. Well, bullfuck. Well, go for it. Go for it, and I'll
Okay.
do what I can to brace
Do
her.
carefully, have guidance.
Hooray!
Are you? So what are you doing with this rope?
So,
York
being
is going to
held
be the
and
thing
it's
that's being
tied to
tied.
I am anchoring it at this end, and surely Freya has tied it off on her end. She's
Yeah.
good with ropes, right?
or she'd have shouted at us and told us that that wasn't a thing.
Okay. You don't need to make me a check, Lady Freya. Will you please make me a strength saving throw?
7.
7.
I'm graceful.
Reflex save from you, Iris, please. You're fine. Iris, you feel the rope go straight down, and you manage to pinwheel your arms and get yourself back onto the ledge. Lady Freya,
What?
you
I
are
didn't.
dragged backwards and into the water as the weight of Iris lands on the rope and pulls you backwards. Tyndall says, "My love," and you are pulled out of range and take me 2d6 fire damage as you are splashed into the water.
Roll low. That's not low. That's
I'm
really
down.
not low. You're down.
Tremendous. Perception check, please, David. York, to spot this.
16.
On a 16, you see Freya go down into the water. This is a very, very bad place to be. I'm going to tell you right now, it's extremely dangerous.
Need, help me right now. And I'm just going to start reeling her in. It's the only option I've got. I'm just going to start reeling her in.
Okay, both of you. You're taking. Oh yeah.
Wait. I'm going to freeze the water beneath her to try and mitigate some of this damage.
Okay, you mitigate some of the damage, which means I'll allow you to make me a death saving throw instead of automatically failing one. You make a death save.
Yeah.
Do you want a strength?
I would like a pure strength check, please.
Pure strength.
13.
13 ain't bad, but she ain't out of the water yet. Freya, you are pulled along and through the water. The crab is going to have a go at you as you go.
I would still be trying to jump forward.
Try
to go.
You pinwheeled back. You didn't take the. You can jump forward if you like. That's absolutely fine. Go for it. You just don't have the rope assistance, but you can absolutely make a jump.
Yeah, 20.
So you go to the
Wiggle.
Sweet. You leap forwards.
And then as soon as Freya comes in range of my touch, I'll be
Is that 10 down?
sparing the dying.
Sparing the dying. Okay, so. Wow, that's fun. Can you make me a sleight of hand check, please, as Freya goes past to deliver a spare the dying, because she is being through the water.
Sleight of hand 13.
13, okay. Freya, you are stabilised, and so you have not failed or passed any death saves, and York pulls you out of the water. However,
1 HP now?
sorry, you have 0 hit points.
Zero.
Still unconscious.
However, the giant crab is now going to come and have a go at Iris.
Wisdom saving throw.
Yeah.
Is that any creature?
Yeah.
Because this is not an elemental.
Doesn't matter.
What's your DC?
14.
Yeah, well, I rolled a 15, and that is not enough.
So they can pick someone else to attack.
No, it can't.
Okay.
Freya, you have been dragged back to here. The crab is really injured.
Lauren has.
Crap.
No.
Lady Freya,
You changed, man. You changed.
Lady Freya, gain at least 1 hit point and become conscious
6.
again. You are no longer.
Tyndall.
Yeah. And then, you're sure Tyndall's it.
Freya, you alright?
Tyndall's there. Tyndall's.
Okay.
Tyndall's there?
Okay.
What I'm going to
Get
try
over
and
there in
do
a second.
is I'm going to try and taunt this crab to follow me.
Okay. I love this.
So that as I'm jumping from rock to rock, I want to draw the crab away from everybody else.
Okay.
Great.
Animal handling.
That is exactly what this is.
But I'm good at that. Well, not awful at it. Yes, I am. I'm not good at handling crabs.
Crabs are not like horses.
Do you want to use your?
It's not applicable. It's not an attack or save.
Oh, is it not? That's annoying. Okay, so on an 8, let's make it a post. There's every chance. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, sadly, it's okay. So the crab is going to make a wisdom saving throw to try and attack you. Is what I'm going to rule that as, because you are getting close and taunting the crab, and the crab is going to. Oh man, yeah, roll a 17 and pass a wisdom saving throw. So it's going to make an attack at you, but it is directing its energies and attentions on you. It's going to hit you. I roll a 21 if that affects anything.
Yes.
So you are hit by the crab. I am. Sweet. It doesn't hit that hard. Would you like to take yourself nearly 6 points of piercing damage and be grappled?
Yes, because it was seen through.
The crab has, however, you leapt onto this rock as you did because you were pulling it away.
Yep.
It has grappled you. Yeah, this with the salamanders would have been just death.
Such death, such.
I was so
fire,
worried. I was so worried that you go quick down to the ledge of no escape, and the salamanders would push you in the fire, and then follow you where they don't take damage. Oh, horrendous.
My plan was back in the corridor. Where it's
Yeah, it's all good. You are all up. Iris has been grabbed. Then I'm going to do something about this. You still have your moonbeam going.
Well, I'm gonna fry the crab.
Yeah, okay. It's going to make a con save.
Anybody here play Gears of War?
You've been let
Just
go.
don't feel
Make
like-
me a reflex saving throw to stay on the boulder, please.
7, 8, 9, 10.
10 is enough.
Did it fail its constitution?
It did.
It takes 12 damage.
12. Okay, this crab is deeply unhealthy. You can see that it is withered and flailing away now, and it doesn't know where this damage is coming from. It keeps trying to scuttle out of the moonbeam. It's going to. Are you going to finish the crab off? It's going to try and scuttle away, but it may come back at some point.
Me?
Yes, Neve.
Your choice. You're the person with the power here.
Your moonbeam is dying and it's about to run out. Your choice is: would you
The
like
crab
to,
is retreating.
for now?
I'm not gonna try and kill it.
Okay, there's a and the moonbeam dies. Your spell is also
That's fine. I figured it would have been
dissipated. That's fine. I gave it the same duration as the moonbeam. I thought I'd wait for someone to
No,
cast their
that's
con.
absolutely
I
fine.
think, yeah, that's gone.
Chas is just great at the moment. Finish the crab!
The crab is retreated. It's deeply unpleasant.
I'm going to help you to your feet.
So it's vanished somewhere.
So
over
your
here.
team
It's
is on the
underwater,
other side.
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe.
Let's go find out.
Yeah.
You were on that rock for a second, Iris.
Yep. I'm going to have a look at the. Is it lichen?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to see if acid bolt, the acid from it, would have any effect at removing the lichen from the rock.
That's really cool. I like it a lot. And yes, it does. That's fine.
Okay,
You can sear the lichen off
And from that rock too, please.
from this range. No problem still. You have
Wow.
turned those rocks into harmless.
Super
rocks.
shiny.
Good job, guys.
You
see Iris fires a few bolts of acid that glob onto the rocks, and they glow another green for a second, and then you can see the grey of the rock underneath.
Does Freya remember that she heard chanting, or is it literally I saw Tyndall?
You saw Tyndall is what you're pretty sure. Although
Tyndall's over there.
you also remember what he said.
And he's dead.
Tyndall's over there.
I need to take my armor off again, don't I?
I am going to jump down onto the purple rock.
Okay,
I'm going to start taking my armor off.
you make it.
I'm going to start taking my mail off.
Guidance. You can guidance yourself.
I can guidance my
You can say, "Come on, babe, we can do it."
Josh, I'm going to start taking my mail off.
Okay, that's fine. You're not under any pressure right now. You can take your mail off, no problems.
I'm just going to leave it on this ledge.
Sounds good.
No, it doesn't. That's a lie.
It does sound good to Josh.
It sounds great.
Shut your mouth. Damn it.
I'll wait for the boss fight.
Could I reasonably jump onto the same rock that other people
No.
are on? Or do I just
So I'm gonna-
You could attempt it.
I'm
for
going to
sure.
start heading this way.
Yeah.
Okay. Take me a.
I'm going to start heading this way.
Oh, you do that thing. Do it well.
Have some guidance.
generic guidance?
Yeah.
I'll
Okay.
crack open a fortune
On
cookie
a
every
natural
time.
20,
Your lucky numbers.
you manage
are...
to you clear both of those rocks with no problem. They are really
Wow.
hot, so you are propelled. You can't spend any more time than you want to. You go okay, and it's a hop, 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 and you end up more stably on a rock that you have
And
cleared
then
of like.
finally to the
That's fine. Yep.
the end. You need guidance.
Lovely.
Oh yeah, chat. I need some fortune cookie guidance that I can dispense. Some token wisdom.
The water you fall into will be boiling. Weird fortune.
The fat man eats a lot.
Buy another cookie.
Buy another cookie, fat boy.
Help! I'm trapped in a fortune cookie writing workshop, and I can't. That's what it says.
So I'm gonna try and get over to the non-lichened rock
Okay, sweet.
with some guidance for myself.
Okay, well you've seen Iris do this, so this is yeah, fine, no
just
problems.
Fine. Blop.
great.
Do you want me to roll for each one?
You can no. So you can assist each other at this point. The only rocks that I require you to roll for now are the yellow rocks. Everything else we can assume that you can do. You've got enough rope and resources and people. And Iris, when you landed there, can you make me a wisdom saving throw, please?
Oh.
Yes, I can.
You hear the sound of faint chanting coming from somewhere on this island.
I'm getting some great
Is chat wise?
Yeah,
fortune
chat.
cookie wisdom. Chat is very wise.
Oh, thank you, chat. These are brilliant. Every fall is another chance to stand up.
Sometimes the hardest rock to leap onto is the one inside yourself.
That is a hard rock to leap onto. When I do it, I mostly hurt myself.
Although, am I going for another roll? Because I know what guidance I want to give myself for the next rock.
Okay, so yes, you need to make it for the yellows, and then yes, you need to make it onto the...
Okay, cool. So my guidance, thank you, Sam G, is the crab is good for the tummy, but bad for the skin. 17!
17 is incredible.
Okay.
My friend Luke, who he's playing a warlock or something, he has the guidance cantrip. And when he's the nephew of Baba Yaga, and his guidance cantrip is merely reading something from her book, and it's like, when being stealthy, don't let him see you, dummy! Amy, you make it onto the island.
Oh, do I have to make a wisdom saving?
You really do.
Okay. Where's my wisdom?
Your wisdom
Oh,
is
I
your
get
casting stats
proficiency
and
for
should be
this.
correct.
Oh, and Jesus, maybe I need it. 9?
9 is just not enough, I'm
Oh.
afraid. That's good to know. Sweet. Who else is trying to come over?
Can we tie rope to your armour and then drag it across?
Yeah, go across first, and then go across in a second.
It'll be a
Okay.
bit hot. You'll need to
Freya
put it
is
down.
going to attempt to.
If only because you've got
The only checks you need to make me, Freya, are for the yellow rocks.
2 checks.
One check is fine to get onto the green, and then another one to get out. You know what? Freya is so acrobatic that you're not going to roll a natural one.
Right, now there are 3
Where's
of
Tyndall?
you. You
Uh,
might...
Take me a wisdom saving throw, please.
If it.
And
16.
okay,
Oh,
you do not see Tyndall. You merely hear chanting. However, Neve, you see a man with white balding hair and a thick white beard. He looks a bit like a slightly more buff Father Christmas, played by Derek Jacobi. And he comes walking towards you, and he walks with a staff. And he looks at you. And he says, Neve, it's been some time. Why have you left the village? Why are you not tending the well? Did what I taught you mean nothing? Was my death for nothing, Neve?
Oh no, I don't know how to deal with this.
That's fine.
Right, can all of you grab the rope on your side? Because
2 of us can.
I've taken my armour off.
You have
I am...
made of fire.
I can't... Like, I legitimately cannot see a reason to where the armour will making this jump. It's just...
No, it's a terrible choice. It is suicide. No one dare save you. You will die. Don't do it. This is the GM talking.
I will...
I mean, make your own choice.
You know what? I'm going to tie this end of the rope to a bag of chainmail.
Okay.
And then I'm going to... I mean, it won't anchor it on this side, but I can at least pull myself...
That's fine, yep.
Right, we'll do that.
Okay.
And then I'm going to start making some jumps. Did you say I could make athletics?
You can definitely make athletics. You're the only jump I will require you to make. You can easily get from here to here and pull the rope along with you. You will need to make me a leap to get across the 2 yellow rocks.
That's absolutely fine.
Everything else is very doable.
Right, so rock number 1.
I need someone to give you guidance.
They cannot right now.
Not that it would matter on that roll.
Did you get a natural 1?
Yes, I in fact did.
Oh,
Alright, this is really good news. This is really not good news. Wow, okay, first off, I think we're okay.
Okay, we're okay.
Can we please have perception checks at disadvantage from Freya and Iris? And I really hope one of you makes it.
12.
9.
Okay, 9 is not enough, 12 is enough. Freya, you see Jorg leaps for the rock, is scolded by it, and falls down. Have you tied the rope to yourself?
Yes. No.
I think you did.
I tried it to... Did I? Okay, yeah.
I think you did.
Yeah, I did.
Jorg has fallen into the water, and there is and he is pulled down.
York's in the water. Do we have the other end of the rope?
Yes, that was the
I'm
point.
gonna
It's
get up.
around your waist.
Please make me a strength saving throw.
Both of you have it.
No, that's fine. You've made it.
12.
Anyway.
Saving throw.
12 is fine, yeah. So Yorg is in the water. You are being pulled down into the water as well. Yorg, can you please take me 2d6 points of fire damage?
Absolutely can. Dice for this. That's
8 points of fire damage.
That's a lot of damage.
It's going really well.
Yeah, it's
The
really
session's going excellently, guys. And you cannot breathe. You are pulled into the water, and it is like a scalding hot bath. You are really glad that you took your armor off, but you are soaked. You feel like you're blistering in this heat, and as you flail around, the rope is pulling you down under the water. You try and open your mouth, and you're remembering to keep it closed. It's really hard. You feel heavy. You feel incredibly hot. The pressure on you is intense.
So, first things first, I'm going to take a knife and I'm going to cut the rope that has my armor attached to it, because that way lies death. Then I am going to start hand over hand pulling myself up the rope.
Sweet. You make me.
I'm going to miss this fucking chainmail.
It's
Get on the
going
way back.
maybe. Okay.
No, on the pincers.
Strength check. Oh no, this is athletics. Please make me an athletics check to pull yourself up. You can cut your armor free, no problems.
19.
19, amazing. So you only take me 2d6 points of fire damage as you pull yourself out. I will require another strength save with advantage because you're being assisted.
Good. Thank you for advantage. 12 again.
12 is okay.
Ow.
You, Iris, you grab onto Freya, and Yorg is pulling himself up. How you doing?
Really glad I used those hit dice and the lay on hands in.
Going unconscious there would have been very, very bad.
Would have been fucking fatal.
It would have been very fatal.
The two people with negative strength modifiers probably would have pulled you out.
Wouldn't that one? You'd have all gone in. This would have been death. This really could have been death. I was so worried that when, seriously, the salamander, I ran this and I went, if you go down here, you just... Yorg pulls himself. Yorg, you are blistered.
Yeah.
Actually blistered, and it's gross. What are you rolling?
Wisdom save. 5.
You pull yourself up.
Fuck, what's that? Oh no, it was actually a...
Is it a 14?
7.
Right.
No, it's definitely not a 14.
Above you, you can see the face looking down at you of your friend who gave you the amulet. And she looks at you and she says, well, here you are, Yorg.
Here I am.
Sole survivor, huh? I did everything I could to save you, and I just wish you'd done the same for me.
Yeah, you and me both.
What? Did you not care about me?
Always.
Iris, two of your team are frozen and incapacitated.
And
They're
can hear
murmuring
chanting.
vaguely, and you can hear chanting.
Where's the chanting coming from? Is it quite loud?
No, it is quite soft. Natural 20 is what you needed to hear it before. It's coming. Now you are here. I will put out the second half of the map. Congratulations, guys.
Cool.
You can see. Alright, so you're just going to have to pretend that you can't see what's inside this, because that's how this works. You can stick a sheet of something on top if you want. Thank you.
Oh no, whatever could be inside this large white expanse.
You can see that there is a large black stain. Come on, Josh. Building. Well designed. Good job.
No, this is an old design.
There we go.
This is your first time doing this, and
Yeah.
it's really good call.
There is a large black stone building that is about this big. It occupies most of the space of the island. You can hear chanting coming from. Take me a perception check. Take me an investigation check. In fact, is exactly what I'd like you to take me. 5. Somewhere in the cavern there is chanting.
Oh, no, there's a D20 on
I'll
the
get that.
floor.
I'll get that later. You can see now that you are here. There are a pair of columns
Columns add volumes.
because they add volumes to your dungeon. And these columns are here and here. There's a set of steps that leads down into the space. Looks like a temple of some
Okay,
kind.
so looking at Yorg and Iris, what's going on with them?
There are
Not
tears
Iris, Neve, sorry.
rolling down Neve's face.
Yorg looks like he has seen a Yes, York looks like he's seen a ghost.
Yes.
They are
Same
both
with
quite
me.
white. York is very injured, but there are
Doesn't
his
seem to be.
doesn't seem to be bearing about that. Both of them are frozen solid, and weeping.
Okay. You said Tyndall was here.
Yeah.
You passed your save. You are not affected by this now.
Hey, chat.
Neve?
Give me a
Can I
feminine name.
I'm going to try shaking Neve.
Okay.
Neve.
Chat. Give me a feminine
What
name.
happens? GM?
Hello.
Being shook.
I'm shaking Neve.
I'm
You're
gonna
shaking Neve. Please make me another wisdom saving throw.
Me?
Yes, you.
Nope. The answer is nope.
Um,
Answer is a big fat nope.
can you please take me 2d10 points of psychic damage?
How does that work?
You roll 2d10
2d10
and you take that much damage.
Oh, right, okay, so it's not
It's a type of damage.
That's not good to roll.
16.
That's quite a lot of
I
damage.
am down.
Braden.
You broke me down.
Braden.
What did you do to her?
I did.
Braden walks towards you, and he comes right up to you,
Mm-hmm.
and he says, "You have abandoned
That's
your
enough,
duties, and I am ashamed of you."
Oh, I can't deal.
And you
Can't
are
deal.
unconscious on
Yeah.
the floor.
I will spare the dying, so you don't have to take death saves.
You
Okay.
are stable, Neve.
Can I search Neve for any healing potions or anything like?
You
I
can
have
see them
healing
on her
potions,
belt.
yes.
I'm going to pour one in my
Alright.
mouth, pour one in her mouth.
You're going to use all my healing potions. Great.
So good.
Great.
Courtesy of chat and a dice
Yeah.
roll. This is
Have
Francesca.
yourself.
Francesca, thank you.
Thank you, chat.
You get 8 points of healing.
Okay.
I get
Francesca.
10
Probably
points of
Fran
healing.
to me.
Cool. So
Oh,
I'm up to 10.
Frankie?
Sweet. You come to. Braden has disappeared. He is nowhere to be seen.
Okay.
You can hear chanting. You are in some pain and emotional distress.
Yeah.
But it's gone.
What happened? What's going on?
There's chanting, possibly from inside this building.
You said Tyndall was here.
Yeah.
I saw something that can't have been real.
York is paralysed on the floor.
What's happened to York?
Same thing that happened to you.
Oh God.
Do you have any more potions? It worked for you?
Well, I had some on my belt.
Do you have any other ones?
No.
No, okay.
The rogue's like, "Where are your secret potions? I have secret knives."
I'm gonna come over to York, and I'm gonna try Cure Wounds.
Okay.
I'm not going to say no.
Take me a wisdom saving throw, please, York.
Oh, fuck no.
Take me 2d10 points of psychic damage.
Roll the damage yourself, you're the DM.
Hell no. Roll it, please.
Okay,
no, fine. Fuck you.
No.
Would you like to send me 18 points
There
of
we
psychic
go.
damage?
Not really.
Can that be mitigated by the 10 points of healing I just popped
Well,
in?
this is going to happen in this order.
York's berry goes unconscious.
Great. Well, I'm glad you managed to save yourself. It's a shame you didn't have a sense of duty or honour or responsibility for the rest of us. No. Save yourself, York. That's what you're good
I
for.
saved nothing. I died in that.
York, you take a whole bunch of damage as the pain racks through you. You fall unconscious, and you would be dying, but are immediately brought back to, what did you roll?
10.
Gain 10 hit points. And you are back and stable, and you can hear chanting. Okay.
What is wrong with you people?
There's some sort of a spell going on. Something is, I don't know, making us see things.
You all feel the temperature in here and the pressure starts to rise, as does the water level.
Right, up.
It
We need to move-
gently
we need to move
starts to rise up, and you feel, Neve, the same kind of surging that you did when the waters flooded Old Town and the Ellesmere rose before. You suspect it is happening again. You may be the only people who can stop this. And that is where we are going to leave this session. All right. Thank you very much, everybody, for sticking with us. Thank you, chat, for being wicked. we are going to conclude this dungeon next session. Same bat time, same bat place. If you enjoyed this session and you would like to see more of this content, the best thing you can do is like, share, and tell a friend. Word of mouth is the very best advertising, and the more people watching, the more amazing content we get to make for you and your friends. If you are new to the stream and want to catch up, you can join us on our Facebook group, link below. You can check us out on YouTube for all of our previous episodes, link below, and you can watch us every Thursday at 8 PM live on twitch.tv/CellPenGM. Thank you very much, and keep rolling them dice.
From the present!
Alright, we are